These Fox News anchors had it all: the fame, the influence, and the millions of viewers who tuned in every night. They were stars in their own right, commanding primetime attention and shaping political narratives. But for some, the spotlight turned into scrutiny, and the world they ruled came crashing down. Scandals, controversies, and legal battles became the stories that ended their careers at Fox News. From shocking lawsuits to workplace allegations, these anchors were suddenly out of the network they once dominated. Today, we're diving deep into some of the most shocking firings in Fox News history. From Tucker Carlson to Bill O'Reilly, and many others, we'll reveal why they were fired, the controversies surrounding them, and the scandals that shook the network to its core. Let's start with the most recent and arguably one of the most shocking exits: Tucker Carlson. Tucker was a household name, hosting Tucker Carlson Tonight, a show that attracted millions of viewers per night, peaking at around 3 million. His style? Provocative commentary, culture-framing narratives, conspiratorial ideas, and hot takes on race, immigration, political elites, and gender issues. Tucker quickly became a cultural and political influencer within the conservative media ecosystem. Fox News leveraged this influence, treating him as a star while also, secretly, seeing him as a liability. Then, in April 2023, the unexpected happened: Tucker Carlson was abruptly fired. Fox News issued a brief statement thanking him for his service, but the details behind his exit remained a mystery, sparking widespread speculation. The firing didn't happen in isolation. Multiple controversies converged, making Tucker a high-risk figure for the network. One of the main catalysts was the Dominion Voting Systems defamation lawsuit, in which Fox News settled for a staggering $787.5 million. During the legal proceedings, court documents and private texts were revealed, showing Tucker's disparaging remarks about colleagues, skepticism about on-air election fraud claims, and criticisms of the network's direction. Some of his text messages shocked even his critics. He admitted privately that he passionately hated Donald Trump after the 2020 election, rooting for the public to ignore Trump most nights. One redacted message described watching a video of Trump supporters attacking an Antifa protester, where he admitted to rooting for the mob. On top of the lawsuit, Tucker faced allegations from former producer Abby Grossberg, who claimed the workplace on Tucker Carlson Tonight was misogynistic. Women were allegedly sidelined, assigned less important tasks, and exposed to degrading behavior. When complaints were raised, supervisors reportedly dismissed concerns, citing, "This is Tucker's tone. That's just how the show goes." The exposure of Tucker's texts further complicated matters. He used crude, insulting language about colleagues, executives, and public figures. These revelations, coupled with his strained relationships with Fox leadership and advertiser concerns, created an untenable environment for the network. Ultimately, Tucker Carlson's firing was a combination of legal pressure, workplace controversies, and his sometimes divisive public persona. Before Tucker, the Fox News world was rocked by Gretchen Carlson's scandal. Gretchen joined Fox in 2005 after a stint at CBS, co-hosting Fox and Friends and later launching The Real Story with Gretchen Carlson. Known for her sharp interviews and ambitious drive, she seemed untouchable until she was abruptly fired. The truth came out when she filed a lawsuit against Roger Ailes, Fox News CEO, exposing a culture of sexual harassment and retaliation. Gretchen alleged that Ailes had pressured her for a personal relationship, made inappropriate comments about her appearance, and retaliated against her when she refused his advances. Her career suffered consequences: demotion from primetime shows, pay cuts, fewer interviews, and being marginalized at the network. Her lawsuit opened the door for other women to come forward with similar allegations against Ailes. Under mounting pressure, Roger Ailes resigned, and Fox News settled with Gretchen for around $20 million, along with a public apology. Gretchen Carlson's story highlighted the toxic workplace culture at Fox and marked the beginning of a wider reckoning within the network. Another high-profile Fox News anchor caught in scandal was Andrea Tantaros. Andrea rose through the ranks from political analyst to full-time host, co-hosting The Five and later Outnumbered. Around 2015 to 2016, she alleged that Roger Ailes made inappropriate sexual propositions and comments, including remarks about marriage, children, and clothing choices. Her complaints were ignored, and she claimed retaliation, being moved to lower-profile shows, facing career setbacks, and enduring a hostile work environment she described as Playboy Mansion-like. Fox News, however, officially cited contract violations as the reason for her firing in April 2016, including publishing her book Tied Up in Knots without prior approval. Despite the termination, Andrea remained under contract for some time and later filed a lawsuit naming Fox, Roger Ailes, and other senior executives. Andrea's story reinforced the pattern of harassment allegations at Fox and showcased the challenges women faced in confronting the network's leadership. Rudy Bakhtiar's experience is another example of Fox's turbulent environment. Joining Fox in 2006 as a general correspondent, Rudy covered high-profile international stories, from Saddam Hussein's trial to the Iran-Iraq summit. Her credentials were solid, but her career faced roadblocks. Rudy accused Brian Wilson and Roger Ailes of making unwanted advances, pressuring her to meet appearance expectations, and retaliating when she refused. She was reassigned to less prominent stories, excluded from key assignments, and ultimately fired. Fox claimed her dismissal was due to performance issues, but Rudy maintained it was retaliation for rejecting advances and filing complaints. A mediator later ruled in her favor, ordering Fox to pay $670,000 remaining under her contract plus legal fees. Her experience, like Gretchen's and Andrea's, highlighted the systemic challenges faced by women in the network. Ed Henry, a veteran journalist with a career spanning CNN and Fox, faced a very public downfall. Joining Fox in 2011 as a White House correspondent, Ed was later promoted to co-host America's Newsroom. But in June 2020, he was accused of sexual misconduct by a former employee. An external law firm conducted an investigation, and Fox suspended him immediately. Within a week, he was fired. Henry denied the allegations, filing a defamation lawsuit against Fox and its CEO, claiming the network misrepresented the reasons for his firing. He alleged that evidence supporting his innocence was suppressed. Jennifer Ehart, one of the plaintiffs, accused him of rape and harassment dating back to 2017, while another plaintiff, Catherine, alleged inappropriate conduct. These claims drew intense media attention and added to the network's history of sex-related scandals. No list of Fox News scandals would be complete without Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly, host of The O'Reilly Factor, was one of the network's biggest stars. His aggressive interview style and conservative commentary made him a household name. But in April 2017, the New York Times reported that multiple women had received settlements, up to $13 million, related to harassment claims against O'Reilly. Advertisers began pulling back, creating financial pressure for Fox. After an internal review, the network decided to fire him. O'Reilly denied wrongdoing, claiming he was a victim of media and political pressure, but his career at Fox ended abruptly. Despite his firing, his contract included a $25 million annual salary, and he received a substantial payout, illustrating the financial stakes involved in high-profile terminations. Finally, we have Chris Stirewalt, Fox's political editor and analyst. Stirewalt was well known for his data-driven analysis and comm reporting, including co-hosting the podcast Perino and Stirewalt, I'll Tell You What. However, after the 2020 presidential election, he became a target of controversy for calling Arizona for Joe Biden early on election night. The decision angered Trump supporters, and political pressure mounted against him. Fox claimed his firing in 2021 was part of a broader restructuring, but many speculate that the early election call played a significant role. Stirewalt later joined NewsNation and spoke publicly about the circumstances of his departure. From Tucker Carlson to Chris Stirewalt, these Fox News anchors all faced sudden, shocking departures. Some were fired for misconduct, others for retaliation, and a few because their political statements or decisions angered powerful figures or viewers. These scandals reveal a network grappling with lawsuits, workplace culture controversies, and the pressures of public scrutiny. They remind us that fame and influence at Fox News can be fleeting, and the cost of power sometimes comes with personal and professional consequences. Megyn Kelly was one of Fox News' brightest stars, joining the network in 2004. Known for her sharp interviewing skills, fearless questioning, and ability to take on high-profile political figures, she quickly became a household name. Kelly's show, The Kelly File, regularly drew millions of viewers, and she was regarded as a trailblazer for women in cable news. But despite her success, tensions with Fox leadership grew over time. Kelly was outspoken on-air about controversial topics, including sexual harassment and political scandals, which reportedly irritated network executives. In 2017, Megyn Kelly left Fox News under a cloud of speculation. While her official statements cited personal and career growth reasons, insiders hinted at strained relationships with management and disagreements over editorial direction. Her departure marked another high-profile exit and highlighted how even top-rated anchors weren't immune to internal politics at Fox. Martha MacCallum, the host of The Story with Martha MacCallum, was considered one of Fox's reliable anchors. Known for her composed demeanor and journalistic professionalism, she rarely made headlines for controversy. However, MacCallum experienced challenges behind the scenes. Internal restructuring in 2021 to 2022 led to shifts in time slots, show prominence, and editorial responsibilities. While she was not fired outright, these changes were part of a broader trend at Fox where anchors faced career instability if their ratings didn't meet network expectations. MacCallum's story shows that Fox News' internal shakeups affected not only scandal-ridden anchors but also those who maintained a clean professional profile. Howard Kurtz, longtime media critic and host of Media Buzz, faced a different kind of pressure. As a media watchdog, Kurtz often critiqued Fox's competitors, political narratives, and media ethics. Yet, behind the scenes, he reportedly clashed with executives over editorial independence. Allegations surfaced that Fox News occasionally tried to influence storylines or restrict coverage that might upset advertisers or politically powerful figures. While Kurtz remained employed, these internal conflicts led to tense relationships and a reduced on-air presence, reflecting how Fox management sometimes prioritized ratings and political alignment over editorial freedom. Judge Jeanine Pirro, host of Justice with Judge Jeanine, became infamous for her fiery commentary on political issues, especially regarding immigration and national security. Her shows regularly drew high ratings and a dedicated conservative audience. However, Pirro's on-air statements occasionally stirred legal and advertiser concerns. In 2019, she faced a suspension after comments about public figures and political issues were deemed inflammatory by some advertisers. While not permanently fired, her situation illustrated how anchors at Fox could be vulnerable to sudden disciplinary actions if their rhetoric risked legal exposure or financial backlash. Shepard Smith was one of Fox News' most trusted news anchors, known for fact-driven reporting and calm, unbiased coverage. Unlike some of his colleagues, Smith often clashed with Fox's primetime opinion hosts over tone and editorial style. In 2019, Shepard Smith left the network unexpectedly. Reports indicated he was frustrated with the increasing editorialization of news content and pressure to conform to a conservative narrative. His departure underscored the tension between opinion-driven shows and factual reporting at Fox, and how ideological differences could drive even veteran anchors out. Greg Gutfeld, the host of Gutfeld and co-host of The Five, brings a comedic and satirical edge to Fox News. While Gutfeld has not been fired, his controversial jokes and commentary occasionally drew backlash from viewers and political figures. Internal memos revealed that executives monitored Gutfeld's content closely to avoid advertiser pullback. His case demonstrates that at Fox, even comedy-focused anchors had to navigate a delicate balance between ratings, controversy, and corporate interests. Laura Ingraham, host of The Ingraham Angle, has been a cornerstone of Fox News prime time. Known for her provocative political commentary, she often sparked controversy over immigration, education, and social issues. Despite occasional advertiser backlash, like the 2018 boycott over her remarks on students protesting gun violence, Ingraham managed to retain her position. Her case shows how some anchors, even when embroiled in public controversies, survive because of strong ratings and perceived loyalty to the network's core audience. However, internal sources have revealed that her high-profile clashes with critics and some Fox colleagues occasionally led to tense meetings with executives. This highlights a broader pattern. Fox News weighs audience engagement and loyalty heavily when deciding whether a controversial figure should remain. Juan Williams, a political analyst and co-host on The Five, carved out a niche as a thoughtful, often contrarian voice. Known for balancing conservative commentary with moderate or liberal perspectives, Williams occasionally clashed with co-hosts and executives. In 2010, Williams was temporarily suspended after comments about Muslim Americans on NPR resurfaced, igniting public debate. Though he was reinstated, his case shows how Fox News can be unforgiving when a journalist's words generate controversy outside of the immediate network context. Williams' experience also illustrates the fine line anchors walk between personal expression and corporate expectations at Fox. Bill Hemmer, a seasoned anchor and co-host of America's Newsroom, experienced subtle yet impactful career challenges. While he avoided public scandals, internal network reshuffles affected his on-air prominence. Hemmer was moved between time slots and special projects multiple times, reportedly because executives were experimenting with programming that appealed to different audiences. While not a firing, these changes caused tension and uncertainty, highlighting that even well-respected anchors face career volatility based on ratings and network strategy. Even men, like Tucker Carlson or Chris Stirewalt, faced career consequences when internal disputes arose or political coverage clashed with the network's audience expectations. This culture of high pressure, sometimes punitive responses, and loyalty to ratings created an environment where missteps, or even resistance to internal directives, could end careers. Fox News anchors also operate under immense political pressure. Decision-making during election coverage, on-air commentary about political figures, and even subtle criticisms of conservative leadership can spark backlash. Chris Stirewalt's early call for Joe Biden in Arizona during the 2020 election is a perfect example. While he followed data-driven reporting standards, political pressure and viewer outrage put him in the crosshairs, ultimately contributing to his exit. Similarly, Tucker Carlson and others faced scrutiny for controversial takes that, while popular with certain viewers, created risks for advertiser relations and public perception. At Fox, even a single controversial on-air statement can trigger internal reviews and threaten an anchor's job. These lawsuits not only ended careers but also exposed internal emails, texts, and memos, revealing workplace dynamics, executive misconduct, and network decision-making. The settlements, ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, also set a precedent, showing that Fox News had to balance star power with legal and reputational risk. Many firings trace back to Fox News leadership, particularly executives like Bill Shine and Suzanne Scott. Reports indicate that decisions about firing anchors were often a combination of legal risk assessment, audience management, and advertiser pressures. For example, during the Carlson and O'Reilly controversies, leadership was caught between supporting high-profile talent and mitigating financial or reputational damage. Internal memos later revealed that some executives were deeply concerned about email leaks, public exposure of internal conflicts, and potential regulatory scrutiny. Kimberly Guilfoyle rose to prominence as a legal analyst and co-host of The Five. Her outspoken personality and strong conservative stances made her a recognizable figure at Fox News. However, her career was not without tension. Guilfoyle faced scrutiny for blending politics and on-air commentary in ways that occasionally drew criticism from colleagues and advertisers. Reports indicate that her ambitions and political involvement created friction with some executives, contributing to internal debates about her future at the network. Though she eventually left Fox News to pursue political ventures, Guilfoyle's story highlights how ambition and political involvement outside the newsroom can influence career trajectories. Trace Gallagher, a Fox News correspondent and anchor, was known for his reliable reporting and calm demeanor. He avoided the high-profile controversies that plagued many colleagues. Yet, even Gallagher faced the subtle pressures of network expectations. When anchors or correspondents expressed viewpoints that deviated from the network's ideological or narrative stance, they risked being reassigned or losing visibility. Gallagher's career progression illustrates how internal alignment with the network's priorities can be just as important as talent or ratings. One consistent factor in many firings and demotions at Fox News is advertiser pressure. High-profile controversies, whether sexual misconduct claims, political statements, or provocative content, often triggered advertiser pullbacks. For instance, Bill O'Reilly faced advertiser withdrawals that created immediate financial risks for the network, prompting a swift decision to terminate him. Similarly, Tucker Carlson's text messages and controversial takes raised concerns that advertisers could distance themselves. At Fox, ratings alone were not enough. Anchors also had to navigate the financial ecosystem carefully, balancing audience engagement with advertiser expectations. Fox News has undergone multiple waves of internal restructuring, especially after high-profile scandals or major political events. These changes often affected long-term employees, regardless of performance. Chris Stirewalt's firing, for instance, was partly attributed to post-2020 election restructuring. Martha MacCallum, Bill Hemmer, and other anchors experienced shifts in time slots, editorial focus, or